Hi there, welcome to Board Gems. This is my video channel in which I talk about older board game gems. But this episode is not any of that. I just wanted to kind of talk about the state of the channel, where we are, and where we're going. Because May 3rd, which is the day before the date of recording. Wait, I said that backwards. May 3rd, which at the date of recording is tomorrow, will be the 1 year anniversary of Board Gems. Now, when I started this video channel, it had been something I'd been talking about for a long time, but never could actually get around to doing it. And the pandemic gave me the kick in the seat of the pants that I needed to get it up and going. So I just did it in pretty low quality, but just doing it for fun. And I set a goal for myself. And so I was like, well, I'll do it for a year. And then next May 3rd, if I just pick a random number basically, but it's always good to have a goal, right? If I have 500 subscribers or more, I will definitely continue and I will consider that a success. If I have less than 500, I need to think about it, decide whether I want to continue or not. As of tonight, May 2nd, I have 484 subscribers. Which is like 500 I just picked out of the blue. And I want to be clear on this. I didn't actually expect to get 500 subscribers. But I'm like, oh, if I have 500, that's definitely a success, right? So I will definitely continue. I'm a little bit short, but only a little bit. So actually that 500 goal was a reasonable goal to set. I'm pretty pleased. Now, when I started, I thought, nobody's going to watch these, and we're just going to get a few views and a handful of likes, and then after a year, if I stop doing these, probably nobody will notice, right? And by then, the pandemic will be done and gone. Then I'll be busy again with my restaurants, and I can just consider that an interesting, fun experiment. So there's a few things I didn't expect. I certainly do get very few views of my videos and a handful of likes. That is accurate. What I didn't expect was the feedback. That I actually got a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback from a lot of people, which really surprised me. Because I know my videos are not very high quality and I'm not much to look at and all that stuff. So I thought, who's going to watch these? Some of you do, and some of you seem to like it. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate the positive feedback you guys have all given me. I need to think about where to go from here because it's about a year, and I didn't quite make my threshold, my goal, but I came really, really close. So I need to think about, do I want to continue or not continue? Well, the thing is, the pandemic's still going on. In fact, here in British Columbia, I would say it started off like we had a handle on things, and we were handling things better than a lot of areas of Canada. But now, in May 2021, we're in the third wave, and once again, our restaurants are closed for dine-in. So I still have time on my hands. So I'm not busy yet. So I thought, I'm having fun doing these, so I may as well continue. Now, previously I was doing one video a week, and that was my how to play Why It's a Gem. As I get busier, I'm not going to be able to keep that schedule, I don't think. I'm not going to be able to do one of those videos every week. But I think what I can do is probably do those videos less often, but do more videos and just do kind of different videos. When I did the mailbags, I was surprised how many questions I got for the mailbag. And so splitting all those questions up, that's over several episodes. And I've done other kind of random things. I did rough cuts, me blabbing about a couple of games. There were the rating rebuttals. Because I have been experimenting with a lot of different types of videos, mostly just my ugly mug talking at you, I can definitely continue to do those, as well as continue to do the how it's a play and why it's a gem. It just won't be one a week. What I'm hoping, but please don't hold me to it, is I'll probably do a how to play why it's a gem maybe every. I'm just spitballing here. Maybe every like 10 days or something. I don't have to stick to a weekly format. It could be like a 10-day format. But I'll try to do more videos that aren't how to play why it's a gem. More just in between videos, in between the other the why it's a gem videos that are pretty easy for me to do, like this one, right? It's just me talking. I'll just lightly edit it at the end and then, put it up. So those are pretty easy to do, and I can do those relatively often. And I do know some of you want to hear my opinions for some reason on things other than just some old games that few people nowadays would have heard of. Got some positive feedback about the mailbag episodes, and so I think we can do more of that stuff. So you'll see more rough cuts. You'll probably see some more rating rebuttals in the future. Again, as long as I can do them kind of easy and lightly edit them and just put them up, why not do them? Some people seem to love them, so why not? And of course, maybe if there's like a hot topic going around now, I may offer my thoughts. I'm going to continue to do mailbag episodes. So there's another mailbag episode I'm going to do about my opinions. So that'll be part 2. And there's another question from opinions, which I'm actually going to do a completely separate video on. Someone asked about my predictions, and I've given that a lot of thought. That's a really interesting question, and I'm looking forward to answering that. So that'll probably be a completely separate video. I did get some questions about my restaurants as well as this channel. So I'll probably do those as mailbags at some point. So you will see Board Gems continue, and you're going to see the normal content, the how to play, why it's a gem. I'll continue to do those, just maybe a little less often. But in between, you'll see more of just these kind of easy peasy videos, just ones that I can talk to you and just put it up, lightly edited, and it's easy for me. It's got to be easy for me, otherwise I won't do them, It's sad, but it's true. I've also been giving some thought to what more I can do. Now, I've heard from some of you that you would love for me to do more modern content, like about more modern games. So I'm going to just answer that right now. I don't feel like I'm going to be a good YouTuber about that. And the reason is because, I don't get a chance to play many new games now. I'm mostly playing old games. I have a big backlog of old games that people have requested that I've acquired, and I'm hoping to get the chance to try out so I can cover them for the channel. But also, I'm really not enthusiastic about most of the new games that come out. So lately, I've actually been eyeing my collection. I don't know if longtime viewers may notice that this format has changed a little bit. I've actually changed up my shelving here. I've added more shelves off camera, so I have a lot more room for games. But I'm trying to manage my collection and really keep an eye toward making my permanent collection. Just games that I love and I will have until I'm old and gray. And it'll be a relatively static collection at that point. Little piece of fluff there. Look, there are a lot of YouTubers that talk about new games. You don't need to hear my opinion on it. But if there's a topic, like I love chatting about games, about the industry, about trends, about controversies, all that stuff's really interesting to me. I love everything around board games, not just the playing of them. So maybe I'll do some kind of talking head videos where I talk about, the topic of the week or something like that. And another thing I'm interested in, because I've been seeing a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I shouldn't exaggerate, but there's been quite a bit of backlash this past month, like April 2021, the month that just ended. I've actually been seeing in a number of places a bit of a pushback on the cult of the new. Now, the cult of the new has always been a thing, but there was kind of an assumption that the new games might be, or probably are, better than the old games. And there are lots of hobbyists that still feel that way. But what I'm seeing in more and more threads on Board Game Geek is the discussion kind of turning toward, these new games aren't that great. Why don't we have more games like, the ones that are mentioned are things like, Samurai or Mexica, Tikal, Through the Desert, those types of games. Modern Art, Medici, those games are great. I once in a while will get a suggestion to cover a game that wouldn't normally qualify because it's kind of too famous. Like one request I got was for Tikal, which won Game of the Year. And it's there's tons and tons of these games just floating around out there, and there's a new edition just a couple of years ago. The English edition, actually, of the new edition from Super Meeple, I think is coming out in 2021. So that's not a game that I would normally consider to cover on the channel, but that's also kind of what I'm feeling too. I want to return to those old games. All those games are great, and I want to celebrate them. To me, that is the golden age of gaming, right? You're looking at from about the mid-90s, maybe early to mid-90s, if you include stuff like Modern Art, Manhattan, and of course, Catan and that, up until, I don't know, mid-2000s, maybe late 2000s, when you're getting into sort of the direction of Caylus and Agricola and stuff, then you're kind of getting into the, maybe we'll call that the Silver Age. But this is what I'm talking about, is the golden age, right? That time period. So many amazing games that came out. And I've been acquiring a lot of them again. So I have Samurai again. I have El Grande again. I have Medici and Modern Art and just games that I love. And so I want to talk about them too, because I love them so much. So one thing I'm thinking about, I don't know yet if I'll do it or what format it'll be, but I want to talk about these original gems. I call them the OGs. Those games are the OGs, and I love talking about them, and they're still great games today. So you might see more content along those lines, not just the forgotten gems, but also the gems that people rightly recognize as classics. And we should all still be talking about them and still be playing them. I'm losing my voice here. That's just some ideas. If you have ideas of stuff you'd like me to cover, I'd love to hear it, because we're at the 1 year mark. This is an opportunity to kind of take stock and figure out, where we want to go from here. I do want to thank all of you for the positive feedback you've given me, replying to the posts on Board Game Geek, for example, and of course the comments on YouTube and the private emails. Surprisingly, a number of you just sent me private messages on Board Game Geek, just, really saying thank you and appreciating these videos. That really means a lot to me, guys, because when so few people watch my videos, it's easy to feel like I'm talking at a wall. So when I get that feedback, people share their own opinions or just saying, thanks, keep going, I love your videos. That means so much. So I really appreciate that, and that's given me the encouragement to keep going, at least for the foreseeable future. And by the way, I don't know if you'll notice, because the one thing that was still kind of not very good about my videos was the sound quality. It was just the sound from the iPad, which I'm using for video recording. And of course, it's omnidirectional, so it's picking up, the bar fridge hum in the background and stuff like that. So I've kind of upped my game here. You'll notice my voice, such as it is actually pretty good quality. So I'm excited to go forward and do new videos using this mic, and hopefully this sounds good, and hopefully, this looks as good as it's going to get, all right? You're not going to be able to improve on this in any appreciable way. I know you guys don't come for my rugged good looks. You come for content, and I'm doing my best to give you that content, and I'm having a lot of fun with these. So I'm going to continue for the foreseeable future. So please, I just want to thank you for watching. Thank you for all the people who've left positive feedback to me. If you have requests or suggestions, either of games to do or just more ideas of things that I can talk about or cover, I'd love to hear it. The future is wide open, and I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Thanks so much for watching and listening to my ramblings. Remember, older games don't stop being good just because newer games come out. Take care.